Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. JACALYN KERBECK. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. This is It's Your Healthy Lifestyle show, hosted by the founder of this platform, Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and myself, Roland FRIEDL. How important is your health and fitness to you? We show you how you can easily eat healthier every day, how you can improve your fitness and recover much quicker after your exercises and workouts. Families will learn how to optimize their children's health and nutrition. And finally, you will also hear how you live a long, healthy and fit life into your old age. Join us here on It's Your Healthy Lifestyle.
Welcome to our show, It's Your Healthy Lifestyle. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK here at USA Global TV and Radio. Have you ever looked down and you see something protruding from your belly button over your waistband? It's your stomach. Yeah, I know. It's not fun. It's not fun. And you start doing like sit-ups like crazy and nothing's happening. We're going to talk a little bit about spot reduction on this show today. It's a continuation of our episode from last week. So let's get into it. Joining me is another exercise fiend like myself, a person who really believes in healthy lifestyles. His name is Roland FRIEDL, and he's joining us somewhere from Europe. Let's welcome him to the program. Hello, my friend.
Hello, JACALYN. Great to see you again. Hello.
Good to see you too. So I'm really happy that we did our episode last week and we started to talk about it. And, you know, I started to think to myself about the conversation because the stomach itself, right? There's different parts of your stomach, and I don't know the exact terms, but you've got the part in the middle, you've got those obliques on the side, you've got underneath the belly button. And I think for each of us, it becomes somewhat of a focus as we start to get older. But I'm just giving my point of view as a 63-year-old woman. What are your thoughts as a man of another age?
Well, I will be 62 in September.
I didn't want to say.
Well, anyway, I mean, I'm very into a good body shape as a side effect of being healthy and fit. I always say when I train out, I work out constantly. I walk my dog every day, 17,500 steps more or less, an average. For me, it's, number one is health and fitness, and then the side effect is that it looks good. You know, if I don't have a belly, I can see everything that's under my belly. So I'm happy to do so. Yeah, but most people are struggling with that. Yes, especially men. You know, they are very bloated bodies because they drink too much alcohol, beer, or stuff like that. It's an issue. But let's get straight to the point. I mean, spot reduction, especially on the belly, you know, is one of the biggest myths in fitness because it's not working. You know, a lot of people are going to the gym, and we had a little conversation the show before. Doing a lot of abs, but this is not working at all. I mean, you can train your abs, but you can't choose where your body burns fat. That's the point. But we go deeper into that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny because I shared with you and our audience last week that in January, what I just described in the opening of the show, that's what happened to me. I was driving in my car and I was like, I felt like something was like hanging over my waistband. And for some reason, I thought like maybe there was some kind of creature in the car, like some kind of bug or something. I'm like, oh yeah, that would be my stomach. Like never before in the history of the world do I remember that happening. And so I realized I needed to do something. But I think, and Roland, I'd love your opinion on this. Sometimes we just get tired of doing the work. And we just say, you know what? Nah, I'm getting older. I am older. It's old age. It's middle age. It's menopause. It's whatever. I'm just going to let it be. What's the downside of just saying, I'm just going to love me the way I am?
It's a justification. It's justification of the status quo. And to be honest, man, I had times years ago. I had a very bad accident in 2000, as I spent 6 months in a hospital, and I was very frustrated because I didn't know if I can run ever, what's going to work. And I had a lot of carbs. I was at the time was eating a lot of carbs. Friends of mine that brought me cookies and stuff like that, and I was eating cookies and not moving, and I was really bloated. And I know I was not happy. Absolutely, I was frustrated, but I was really, it was just justification. Okay, it is like it is. I had an accident. My good years are over. I have to handle this now, and I was really justifying this for actually 6 weeks. And after 6 weeks, I said, no, I go back on the road. I will go back running marathons. I will go back and do this and this, even if it's pain. But I understand people are justifying their status quo, and they're giving up, and they're frustrated. They're giving up, and it's actually, Dr. Jekyll, everything you started from scratch or restart again. I don't know, learning an instrument or learning a language or whatever it is. It's a little bit frustrating in the beginning because you realize that you know that you don't know. I mean, you're a very happy person when you don't know that you don't know. But it's frustrating when you realize you know that you don't know. And then you have two choices: giving up and be frustrated, or say, okay, I learn it, I do it. And if the goal is large enough, the focus is large enough, then you will do it. But it's frustrating realizing that you know that you don't know.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. And what I want to share is, since I have changed everything, as I've shared before, about no sugar, no alcohol, intermittent fasting, I could go on and on. Friday will be day 90. What I've noticed is no love handles on the side. Bye-bye, not there anymore. Nothing hanging over my waistband. And I can see the little glimpse. It's like, hello, we're in here. We're your stomach muscles. I can see that little line right here and on the sides. And they're kind of saying, hey, you're 63. Like, we're here. We don't know how much more we can come out. So when is it that we say, okay, I'm doing all the right things, but I hold open a magazine and I see XYZ swimsuit model? It's not going to be happening for me.
Well, we have to be careful, because when we see influencers or on the first pages, like the swimsuit models, with AI, we don't know what is real and what's not. I was in the modeling world when I was younger. I was working as a model, and even photographs tried to make our legs longer, especially for the girls, because at the time in the 80s, long legs was the hype. So they made a different angle so that the legs look longer than they have in reality. I think I would never compare myself with somebody else, because it doesn't make sense, because I don't know how much time the other person has to train, what is their genetics, and what jobs they're doing. I learned to compare myself with the day before. Is it the way I'm going that I'm improving or not? Yeah. That's what I do. I never compare myself with others, because this is really frustrating. And I remember when I came back from hospital and I started to work out again, I made a mistake that I was watching guys in the 20s. I was in my 40s, and I was listening to guys in the 20s, and it didn't work, and it was very frustrating. And I started to say, I'm looking for somebody who is older than me and working out, and this was encouraging me and motivating me.
You know, I'm so glad that you just brought up that point because I think that's key. We forget about AI. We forget about the fact that it could be altered and changed. Because what I'm thinking is, I see people. So I'm a big fan of reality TV shows. And the reason why I like them is because I like to see how people really operate when they're not with a script and given a role. And actually, sometimes it's really disheartening to see the screaming and yelling and patronizing, etc. But I do see some of these women who are not in their 60s, they're in their 50s. Okay. So there is a difference. And everything looks like it's just perfect. It's all tucked and lean and defined. And so we don't know what actually they've had done. Some of them will say, but to the average person, and here's my next question for you, what's the likelihood of actually getting a ripped stomach from steroids? Like, what about taking something? Does that help? If spot reduction is not going to work, what about actually injecting something or I'm not going to do it, but I'm saying, what about it? Is that an option?
Not for me, and hopefully for most people not. But a lot of people are doing a lot of crazy stuff. Maybe especially the semi-professionals are when I went to the gyms, before I moved into my motorhome. Now I do my workout with my own stuff in the motorhome. But before I went to the gym on a regular basis, and the semi-professional, they're dealing. I'm in a drug shop. They're always dealing with some injection stuff and needles and stuff like that. Yeah, people doing a lot of crazy things, to look good or to lose fat. This, I don't know how this product is called, where you lose weight. People are always trying to do the shortcut. How do you say it in English? The shortcut. And I strongly believe shortcuts are not working on the long term, and the side effects, especially the negative side effects, for me are too risky. And I never thought about this. I eat clean. I love clean food. I love clean nature, clean water, and I also train clean. I don't believe it, but I know a lot of people are taking this, especially young people. I know it from the gyms that people, guys in the 16 years old, 17 years old, 18 years old, spending their whole money to get this miracle steroids or whatever. And then you see the side effects, how they look like. The skin is not good. They're not good. They have a lot of, I don't know how to call this stuff.
Wrinkles.
Pickles. Yeah, wrinkle stuff like that. They don't look. They don't really look good. It's not healthy. No, not at all. And again, as I said, I work out to stay fit and healthy, and the design of my body or the shape of my body is a positive side effect, but it's not the primary goal, and it shouldn't be the primary goal.
Agreed. And I think it's also about loving yourself and just respecting yourself. I want to go back to what I shared in the beginning. You'll see this in the gym, especially around the January timeframe, when you've got people coming in and they're like, you know what, I'm getting rid of this gut. And then there they are with this like pulling their neck, right? And it's not doing any good. You can't spot reduce. It doesn't work that way. What I found in almost the last 3 months, watching how my body has changed, it's not the same. Like, keep this in mind. So I stopped drinking, and I've been drinking Chardonnay for probably 40 years. Okay. So that's a big change. And what I expected was my body was going to go, well, hallelujah, sister, let's get you on the swimsuit cover of the magazine. But instead, it's kind of like, well, wait, you were drinking for 40 years. We got that we have to deal with. You are 63. We've got that we have to deal with. So what I found is that in terms of what's starting to change and where I can actually see measurable results, the below the belly button is the last place. It's much better, but it's the last place where the body actually makes changes, I guess, as a woman. Can you talk a little bit about subcutaneous fat versus visceral fat?
Yes. Sure. First, before I step a little bit deeper, I want to tell people on our audience, as I said in the beginning, spot reduction is a myth, and everybody's different depending on their genetics and different other your sex and whatever. The body decides where to lose fat first, and most people experience then they're losing fat or they're getting skinnier more in their face. That's, for me, it starts always here. So what actually works doesn't sound sexy, to be honest. It's a calorie deficit that makes sense. It's movement. It's sleep. Is very. We should also talk about sleep, getting your insulin and your cholesterol down. It's stress control, but it's not. Everything else is just selling hope. And what we can do is we can train a muscle locally, like, I don't know, working on our apps or whatever. That's what we can, and we can feel the burn. You can also even build strong abs underneath, but the fat is still there. So you cannot decide where your body burns fat first, because your body doesn't work like a spotlight. It works like a system. That's what you understand. And this system is driven, as I mentioned before, by biology, by genetics, and not by your workout plan. That's a myth. That's not true. That's absolutely not true. So the uncomfortable truth is that fat loss is always a full body process. So what I mean by this is when you start, when your body starts burning fat, it pulls energy from different areas in your body based on genetics, hormones, and your overall lifestyle. So it's all about your lifestyle. It's not the workout itself. And as I said, most people lose, like myself, lose first in their face, then they see it in their arms, and many of us, as you said, Dr. JACALYN, lost in their belly. And there is where the frustration kicks in. And I told you last time, I gave up my single life, and I encouraged and motivated my new partner to work out with me, because she has also belly, a little bit belly. She's very slim, but has belly fat there. And she asked me, what can I do? So we started working out. She's really good in working out with me. She's walking my dog every morning with me. She changed totally her diet. So I took all her carbs away from her, and it's getting better, but
So
it's slowly.
mean.
And she's really good, and she's trusting me because she sees how she knows how I look without any clothes. So she knows it's working what I'm telling her. But we now do it for 4 weeks or 4.5 weeks, and she's really tough on the program. But it's frustrating, she's 10 years younger than me. She's 51, and as I told you, be patient. It's not something working in 4 weeks, as you said, Dr. JACALYN. We are older, and a lifestyle change is not a 180-degree change. It takes some time. So when we talk about belly fat in specific, it's not about aesthetics. It's deeply connected to our hormones that you have to understand. When we talk about, the vagus nerve, it's a nerve system that combines our brain with all our organs, and it's all about hormones. So especially it's about stress. So when our stress level is very, very high, our body produces cortisol. That's what you have to understand. And cortisol has a direct relationship with fat storage. So especially around your midsection at the belly, that's the problem. So if your life is chaotic, stressful in business, in your job, or even in your relationship, personal stress is the worst one. And if you're constantly under pressure, and that also means that you sleep poor. Your sleep is poor. I said in the beginning, we also had to talk about sleeping conditions. Then you can train as much as you want. Your body is always in a so-called survival mode. And this means in a survival mode, it holds on to fat because it believes that it's a tough time. You are stressed. The stress is like, hundreds of years ago, we were running away from a predator, I don't know, from a lion or from a wolf or whatever. Yeah? So it's the same stress that we have in the job that we had hundreds of years ago in living in the wilderness. And that's where the body begins storing fat. And if you have a calorie deficit in the beginning, what is not good, I'm not a fan of a calorie deficit. I'm a fan of having 2 meals a day, really eating like you're satisfied, but eating the right stuff. So what I say is, belly fat is not a training problem. It's a lifestyle problem. Yeah. So what actually works, and there's no shortcuts. It's just basic. Is of course calorie deficit in a certain way. but meaning that you burn more than you consume. But at the end, it's eating the right food that brings your cortisol down and also brings your insulin down. That's the one thing.
Absolutely. I agree with you. And something I just want to mention is I remember very specifically seeing two different women in the course of my working out at this certain place, and they both appeared to be anorexic. They were not related, just two different women. Very, like, almost skeletal, no meat on their bones, but they had a pot belly. And I thought, isn't that interesting that even though they're going through whatever they're going through, their body is still holding fat in that area. Any ideas what that's about?
Yeah, because as I said, a calm system, a calm nerve system burns better fat than a stressed one. So your body is still holding this fat around your belly because you're stressed. Your cortisol is too high. You don't sleep well. You're stressed. Maybe you're depressed or whatever's going on. So you see it very often. And I said my partner, hopefully she's not killing me. She's very slim, very good body in shape, but she has this belly fat around, and you can see it. And it's because it's stressful work, stressful from a relationship and from a partner, stuff like that. And you see it very, very often, as you said, Dr. JACALYN. You can be very skinny from outside, and you can hide it under some special clothes, but it's there. Again, when your body is stressed, it keeps belly fat. No matter how hard you work out, it will keep it.
Very true. And what I've found out also is that my little AI friend, I will review what my workouts are going to be for the day because I look them up and I see that at this place, this is going to be this body part, in this place, this is actually the routine. And it'll come back and say, you already did 10 workouts in the last 2 weeks that were for your whatever, your back, your arms, and you've had no break and your body's storing cortisol and it's going to work against you. You have to take a break. And then I wrote back, but I've been working out like this since I was 16. And I wrote back, well, you're 63. You're not 16. So it is interesting that even though you do the right thing, sometimes it's too much of the right thing. So to your point, it's kind of like a system. And if you are not working within the confines of the system, you're working against yourself, right?
100%, 100%. So when we talk about a system, what I do mean by this, we do work out 3 times a week, not more often. Sometimes a day in between, sometimes 2 days between. But what we do is we have a clean diet, clean nutrition every day. That's not changing. So it's not that we only eat clean 3 times a week. We eat clean every day. And we move every day, meaning we walk the dog or we swim in the ocean or something like that. But the workout is 3 times a week. And we do a full body workout because it's a myth that you can train a certain part of your body to lose fat there. That's not working. So you have to train your whole body. And because when you have build up more muscles, you're burning more fat even when you sleep. That's what's going on. But to say that this special exercise burns a belly fat, this is selling hope. That's not true. It's not working. You have to train the whole body. Of course, you can work on your abs, and I'm a fan of a good core foundation. Of course, yes, but just training that is not supporting belly fat reduction. You have to train your whole body, and you need a lot of breaks, good sleep, breaks, and good nutrition and stress reduction.
By the way, I love the fact that you just mentioned you're selling hope. That's a good one. That's an excellent one. One thing I want to touch on is body fat or body mass index. So this has been known in the States as BMI. I don't know what you call it there.
Yeah, body mass index, yes.
There were certain methodologies of actually measuring body fat, and I don't know how they do it today, but they use these clamp things that they would clamp onto you. And it's funny, yesterday at the gym, one of the instructors was talking about the fact that you can now sign up for this program where they will assess the status of your heart by putting you on a treadmill, and you've got to run until you could fail, I guess, zone 1 through 5, and then also tell your body mass index. And the reason I bring it up is the first thing I thought to myself was, do I really want to know? Because if I find out, that means I'm going to have to do something else. Like, what else could I possibly do? So, what are your thoughts about learning your body mass index? And then what do you do with that information?
Well, I'm not a fan of the body mass index because it's the body mass index is the ratio between your height and your weight. And it doesn't say anything because you can be a heavy person because you have a lot of muscle. Yes, you can be very heavy because muscles are heavier than fat, but they are, how to say, they need less space. Yeah, so you can be a 200-pound guy on muscle with low body fat, and the body mass index is high. So I'm not a fan of it. What I do, I measure my body fat, not my body mass index, my body fat. You can do it on a scale. There are special scales that measure the resistance. So they send some electronic. I'm not a technical guy, but some electricity goes through the body, and because of the resistance of your body, what is water, what is fat, they can measure your fat. Or as you mentioned, Dr. JACALYN, just at the side of what is so-called love handles we have, you can measure there if it's less than half a centimeter or more by other people. So you can measure it there on the side. I was just looking at my small love handles.
All right, show and tell. Show and tell. No, I'm kidding.
No. The point is that all my girlfriends in the bar said, I love love handles. Why don't you have love handles? I'm sorry. Hold on my arm or my chest, but there I'm not. I cannot offer love handles. I'm sorry.
Well, I think the most important point is that it's not healthy to have visible fat that is, hanging off of our bodies. And I do think, because people will say to me, I've had this so many times in my life, Roland, about many things. You're so structured. You're so disciplined. They don't actually sound like that, and I am structured and I am disciplined. And they'll say, you know what, you're going to go one way or another. I mean, you could walk across the street and get killed. Right. But that's not in my control. What is in my control is what I put into my mouth. And by the way, I want to share something with you because I told you this. Whenever you and I do a show together, I look at you and you're so nice and tan and you look healthy, and I'm so ghoulishly white. And I did some research about self tanners, and then I went and purchased 2. And then I got home and I was like, no, it's all chemicals. So if I'm not putting chemicals in my body, why am I going to put them on my body? But I don't like how white I am, just so you know.
But being white is very noble.
Yeah, but it looks much more attractive. Like you have this glow to you. You look very healthy, and I look like, I look like I've been living in an igloo for a while. But
no, I'm just tan because I'm as I'm living in a motorhome most of the day, except when I sleep inside. I'm always outside when it's not heavy
warm
rain.
There. It's
warm, and I'm always outside. I have my fitness studio outside. I have a lot of stuff there. I walk my dog outside, so that's why in the sun. But I guess we had a healthy lifestyle conversation about the sun. So I'm not lying in the sun just to. In the mid sun where it's too hot and it's toxic. No, but I do it in the mornings and in the evenings. Anyway, no, but the thing is with the belly fat, it's not healthy, not at all. And the thing is, you don't have to be obese in general to have belly fat. Yeah, this so-called visceral fat, and this visceral fat is, we have to understand it. Why we have it? We have it because it's there to protect our organs. That's why it's there. So it's around our organs. Yeah, it's around our organs. And funny side story. Actually, today my partner said during the workout, I don't understand. I worked so hard with you a few weeks and we changed the diet and everything. And I said, your belly is still a little bit there, like look like explosive. I said, yeah, your organs are still outside. I said, yeah, because the belly fat is also behind your organ. It's not also in front of your organs, what everybody can see. It's also behind, because the belly fat, the visceral fat, is surrounding your organs. Okay, and it takes your time. Most people think it's just above your abs. No, it's around your organs. That's what you understand. No, but to be serious, and it's dangerous. It's not healthy to have this visceral fat, so we have to get rid of it. And again, it's not about working on your abs. It's you can do this, but it's all about lifestyle change, good nutrition, and recovery and stress reduction again and again. I know it doesn't sound sexy. You cannot you cannot charge a lot for people for this advice, but this is how it works.
It's really true. And by the way, today here in New Jersey, in the good US of A, it's apparently 80 degrees Fahrenheit outside. I haven't been out yet. And so what happens as it starts to get warmer is we're showing more skin, right? Like I'm looking like, oh my gosh, I'm so white. Well, also you're going to be showing more fat. Wherever the fat is, it's like you can't hide it. And one thing I really admire, I just have to say this, I have seen young women, one of the workouts that I do, it's focused on your core, but it's really the whole body. And young women wearing midriff tops and letting it all hang out. And, we're doing some things where we're crunching and it's kind of like, I look down, I go, please God, let there be nothing. People have big blobs of stuff and they don't even care. And I give them credit because they have that confidence. And, not that I want it, but you have to be able to be comfortable with your body. So that's where I want you to talk a little bit. How do we feel comfortable with the body we have and not shame ourselves, but at the same time say, you know what, I can't just accept this because it's not healthy.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a very good one. Okay. First of all, I guess we have to accept who we are and how we are in the beginning. Where's our status quo? I think first of all, it's the status quo. Well, and we have to accept it and we have to acknowledge it. And then we have to decide, do we want to change it, yes or no? And that's what I told my partner. That's the situation right now. And the question, it is like it is. I love you like you are. And you have to decide if you want to change that. You want to get rid of this small belly or not. And you do it for you. So again, we have to accept it. It has nothing to do with our character, with our habits, with our attitude. It's there, we accept it. It's the result of what we had done in the past, but there's always a new day, and there's always a new sunrise the next morning, so there's always a new chance to change it. And then we make a decision. We want to change this. And I mentioned in the previous show, it's about I want to change, it's not I have to change. Because when I say I have to change, it's coming from outside. Who says so I have to change? It has to come from inside. It must be internal. They just say, okay, I want to change it. But it starts with accepting it. Because as long as you don't accept it, you get angry, you get frustrated, you get sad, and to feel better, what are you doing? Chocolate chips, ice cream, or whatever makes you feel better, and that's not working.
No. By the way, we have our show Unscripted on Sunday, so this could be part of the Unscripted, but I'm going there anyway. So as a very attractive male, right, a very good catch, you are. What are your thoughts about the fact as to whether or not your current company excluded, are men looking for the perfect body? Are they looking at the magazines and they go, well, let me see, is there someone here that matches this? Or does the personality play a part in it? But how important is the physical encasing to what we see as being attractive for Hollywood and for Pinewood and wherever would it go?
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's a tricky question.
It is tricky.
I do get a lot of shit from that. Well, I always answer very honestly and authentic. To be honest, in the past, the visual was the most important thing. I guess that's what you see first, that's what you attracted. But the character is what keeps you in a relationship. Yeah. But yeah, I look for always for good looking woman, to be honest. Yeah. But again, it's just the attraction. It's the first sight, and then you feel attracted and you start a conversation, whatever. But at the end, it's not the look, it's the character that make you stay or leave a relationship. That's the point. But we are visual, we have two eyes, we are visual persons, and but on the other hand, the question is, what is attractive? So somebody wants a very lean person, someone a little bit more. That's a very personal question. But I look at, I always have had slim ladies, to be honest, always, because I know that yeah, they're moving, they're doing sports, they sleep properly, they eat more or less clean. So, and for me, this means that this person has discipline, this person has a direction, this person has goals, this person is not giving up themselves. I cannot stay with a person, or I cannot share my life with a person that has no goals, no discipline, and no direction. That's not me, because I'm not a person hanging around on a sofa with potato chips or chocolate chips. I'm a person that is very driven. So, but that's my personal opinion. Somebody else maybe he loves potato chips on the couch and TV and says, okay, I need a cozy girl that loves to hang around with me on the sofa. But that's not me.
We'll continue that conversation on Sunday. Well, it's true. But I think something you said earlier really is what is going to tie this whole episode together, which we have to be comfortable with ourselves, right? So before we can be visually attractive to someone else, we have to like ourselves, because I've seen this, especially with women. Oh, I look ugly today. This is wrong with me. That's wrong. Meanwhile, you weren't even noticing that specifically. And now you're like, you know what? Yeah, that does look pretty bad. Yeah, you do need to work on that. Thanks for bringing that up, actually, right?
Well, but the interesting thing is, I've always been together with good-looking, slim ladies, and most of them have been in the model business like myself, and they're much more self-criticism than obese ladies. I never understand this. Yeah, as you said, obese ladies. Sorry, I've been living 14 years on the island of Mallorca. There are a lot of British girls, they're like this, and they have this short pants and stuff. My gosh, I would be like, to be self-confident like them. And then you see this very slim, good-looking girl, and she's so shy and so has no self-confidence and always looking in the mirror. I'm looking good, and maybe there's too much fat here or too much fat there, and there's no fat at all. But I don't understand this. So people do, but there's another saying. I don't know how it's in the US, but we in Europe say that people who have a little bit belly, they're more relaxed, more comfortable. Yeah, I don't know, but it's not for me.
Yeah, it's I can't imagine going back to, it must have been like a brief period of time in my life, 6 months. I don't really actually know why, but anyway, I'm much happier knowing I can't grab. There's nothing to grab here. What can I tell you? So that's a good thing. But we are at the end of our show, and I know you've got a show coming up in German. So I'd love for you to tell people about how you can help them, number one. And number two, what is it that you're doing on this platform, and how can people watch?
Okay. First of all, Dr. Jekyll, I have a question to you in this conversation. As a man talking to a lady for our male audience, maybe allow me one question. Is for you as a very driven person, very successful person, you're working out, you're in the business, you're very focused. What do you think about a man that maybe is charming, is nice and funny, but is obese?
Let's see. Obese meaning,
yeah, not too obese, but overweight. Let's say overweight.
I don't think I mind as much overweight. Typically, the men that I've been with have not been exercise enthusiasts. I've dated chain smokers. Please don't even ask me why. And I think that's why I'm celibate, and I've been celibate for a long time, because I always made bad decisions. But today, with a fresh, clean mind, I really would like someone who actually takes care of their body. They actually care. And they're charming, of course, but they're actually a nice person. And then they support me and what it is that I do, instead of the guys I've dated have been like, why do you work out so much? Why do you have to go to the gym? They sound like that too. So it's kind of like they're trying to distract me from doing what I wanted to do. And I thought, oh, okay, so if I stop working out and I put on a lot of weight, like, you're still going to be around. Come on. What do you think? I'm an idiot? So I don't know if I answered your question or not.
Okay, thank you. No, I've been asking because on social media, there's popping on my feed, there's popping up that saying in Europe, ladies prefer men with a belly. And I said, never heard about that. I don't believe it.
The only thing I can think of, which pops in my mind right away, because then they don't have to worry that the guy's going to leave them. Because if they think he's got, like, if you look like an Adonis, then you could be out checking out women all the time. And maybe it puts you in a position where you're like, you know what, if you find someone who's actually better looking, thinner, has bigger boobs, whatever, he might be more interested.
Okay. More attractive for the market. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Got it.
Okay. Tell us about you.
Well, about myself, yeah, thank you. Well, actually, I'm here in USA Global TV Radio. I started 4.5 years ago, and I'm doing many shows here, and it's always a privilege. Follow me on my German speaking. So if you understand German, that would make sense. Every Tuesday, at 8 p.m. Central European time, I do a show that's actually today too. It's called the Mutmacher Show. It means the Encourager Show, where we give hope and inspiration. Sometimes I interview guests, sometimes I run the show by myself to inspire people to live their life, their truth, whatever they want to do in business, privately, or whatever. I want to inspire people to, live their life to the fullest, whatever this means for them. That's the Mutmacher Show. Actually, today we have episode 28, as far as I remember, and not today because we started later with this show. Also at 7 p.m. an hour before, I do the Macher Talk. This is the tour talk, where we have to sometimes interview guests, some businessmen, some business ladies. Sometimes I run the show by myself, just to give input what a doer is doing every day, what you don't see behind the scenes. This is my website, so if you want to contact me, rolandfriedl.com is my website. I have a background as a business coach and a business mentor. I had the honor and the pleasure to work for the largest tech companies in the world for 30 years in different languages all over the globe. I was traveling. It was a lot of fun. And I also do one-to-one coaching for people who want to have the same lifestyle like myself, that want to be a free lifestyle and include their business, whatever it is, into their lifestyle. That's me. And that's, I guess, with my classes, that's my LinkedIn profile. Thanks for sharing that.
All right. Thank you so much. So we're sharing the LinkedIn profile right now, which is Roland Friedl -wireless life rocks. Beautiful. Yes. All right, my friend, thank you so much for being here. And I'm excited for you and your show that's coming up. We will be saying adios for now, but I do have one exciting announcement. The day is finally here that my new book is available for sale. My Tummy Hurts, A Kid's Guide to Belly Aches and Bathroom Troubles. So let's take a look at the video clip and we will say goodbye for now. Roland, any last words?
Congratulations. You're always a role model for me. I'm trying to chase you with publishing books. Thanks you.
I'm up to 27 now, I think so. Okay, thank you very much. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
See you soon. My Tummy Hurts by Dr. JACALYN KERBECK. Meet Jackie. She loves recess, running with friends, and laughing on the playground. At school, Jackie tries to play like she always does, but suddenly the pain comes back. Lately, something feels different and her tummy hurts, sometimes a little and sometimes a lot. With the help of a caring teacher, a nurse, her mom, and a kind doctor, Jackie begins to understand what her body is trying to tell her. Sometimes tummy pain is more than a simple bellyache. Some children live with conditions like ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease. Jackie listens to her body. She asks for help. She knows she's not alone. And Jackie finds her way back to running, laughing, and being herself. My Tummy Hurts, A Kid's Guide to Bellyaches and Bathroom Troubles by Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, available on Amazon and in fine bookstores around the world.
In a world that moves fast, there's strength in the woman who moves with grace. Introducing Bay London, where confidence meets craftsmanship. Each piece is intentionally designed for the woman who knows her worth, crafted from luxurious Italian eco-fabrics that feel as good as they look. With elegant coverage, effortless support, and timeless style, our swimwear celebrates both your body and your essence. Founded by fashion expert Carrie Sykes, Bay London is made for women who want to feel sexy, stylish, and seen. From poolside to beachside, sunrise to sunset. Bay London outfits you for every moment that matters. Because beauty isn't about age, it's how you wear your confidence. Bay London, confidence, elegance, effortless luxury. Visit baylondon.com. Act now for your exclusive friends and family discount of $35. Scan the QR code. Bay London, where confidence meets craftsmanship. Proud sponsor of USA Global TV and Radio.
In a quiet seaside town in Greece, where sunlight warms the stone paths and the sea whispers nearby, a new adventure begins. Lady Ella and her brother Lord Jack have arrived with an important mission: to teach kindness, patience, and the power of listening. In a hidden alley, a group of forgotten cats feel unseen and unheard, lost in silence and growing misunderstandings, until someone finally takes the time to truly listen. Because when we listen from the heart, loneliness softens, kindness grows, and new friendships begin. This is Book 10 of The Amazing Adventures of Lady Ella, the Listening Mentor book series. Find all Dr. KERBECK's books on Amazon and in fine bookstores worldwide.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. JACALYN KERBECK. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.